Republicans are making a lot of mistakes in this last week of the election that completely surprises me. First, we have Elon Musk talking about Americans are going to have to feel some pain to get the government in order. Then we have Donald Trump having a hate fest at Madison Square Garden, where he simply, people look at the Puerto Rican comments that he made, one of his comedians made, but the action that he should really be looking at is what the comedian said about Latinos in general, about Black people in particularly. It was just a mess how they dealt with women. Some very unforced errors. And I don't know which men he thinks he drives to the poll by being troglodytes, right? And then, of course, today or recently, we have Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, coming out against or claiming that something big is going to happen when they go into power. But I tell you what, I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side, because this is what their plans are for the Affordable Care Act, among other things that they want to do. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
NBC News has exclusive reporting on comments made by House Speaker Mike Johnson, promising, quote, massive changes to the way healthcare works in this country if Donald Trump wins the presidency again. The remarks came on Monday night in Pennsylvania at a campaign event for a Republican House candidate. Let's bring in NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor. Sahil, what more do you know about this?
Hey, Mika. Well, Speaker Mike Johnson is reopening the politically explosive debate over the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, just 1 week before Election Day. He told attendees at a closed-door campaign event in Pennsylvania that if Donald Trump wins the election, Republicans will look to make massive changes to the healthcare system. He wasn't specific about what exactly they would do, but he made clear that deregulation would be a part of it. And when he was asked about Obamacare, he also took a shot at the law. Let me play you exactly what he said in this footage that NBC News obtained exclusively. Take a look.
We want to take a blowtorch to the regulatory state, okay?
Yeah.
These agencies have been weaponized against the people.
Yeah.
It's crushing the free market. It's like a boot on the neck of job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers. And so healthcare is one of the sectors, but we need this across the board. And Trump's going to go big. He's only going to have one more term, right? Can't run for re-election. Right. And so he's going to be thinking about legacy, and we're going to fix these things.
No Obamacare?
No Obamacare. Yeah, the ACA is so deeply ingrained. We need massive reform to make this work, and we got a lot of ideas on how to do that.
No Obamacare. That part caught the attention of the Harris campaign, which put out this statement saying, quote, healthcare is on the ballot this November. Speaker Mike Johnson is making clear that if Donald Trump wins, he and his Project 2025 allies in Congress will make sure there is, quote, no Obamacare. And now Johnson's office issued a punchy response to the Harris campaign, effectively saying he did not call for ending the ACA and accusing her team of lying about him. A Johnson spokesman told me, quote, Harris's desperation now has her lying about Speaker Johnson too, when the audio transcript and even the NBC News article her campaign cites makes clear the speaker made no such comments. Effectively, what they're saying is he didn't call for wiping out the ACA. He's calling for making changes to it. What is Mike Johnson proposing to do? That is unclear. His office declined to say what kind of healthcare reforms he wants when I asked them, and they wouldn't say which parts of the ACA should stay, what should go, what should be changed. And remember, all of this comes in context of Donald Trump promising to replace the ACA, to finish the job he tried and failed in his first term when he attempted, with Mike Johnson's help, to pass a bill that would roll back the 2010 law. Trump has not offered a plan, saying only famously that he has concepts of a plan. Kamala Harris says that only plan is repeal. Finally, Mika, what's at stake? This law has extended coverage to more than 45 million people in the U.S., according to government figures, and that's because of the subsidies to buy insurance and the government regulations that prohibit insurers from turning away people with pre-existing conditions or charging them higher prices. That's why some Republicans want to turn the page on this battle, seeing it as a political liability. But Trump and their party's leaders might have other ideas.
Now, here's the deal, folks, and this is what I really don't understand. In effect, what Mike Johnson said about Donald Trump was sufficient to exclude Donald Trump from the presidency, he said, look, this is going to be the president's last term, because he can't run again. Of course, he didn't say this is going to be his last 4-year term. He just said his last term. So it could be his last term until he dies. We don't know, because we know he wants to be a dictator that never leaves office. And that he's previously told folks that this is the last time they would have to vote. All of these things out of the mouth of Donald Trump. But here we have Mike Johnson telling people, hey, guys, since he doesn't have to run again, he doesn't really have to be accountable or anything. So he's going massive. He's going to destroy the administrative state. And, he's going to change it around. He's going to do all these things to the Affordable Care Act and other programs. But here's the thing, folks. A lot of people say, hey, if he goes ahead and can the Affordable Care Act, he's affecting up to 48 million people. That is bananas compared to what really would occur. If the Affordable Care Act is scrapped, the protections, one of the most important parts of that Affordable Care Act are the protections that it has. Protections that says you cannot rescind a policy. In other words, you cannot just come out and say, oh, we don't like you anymore. We're going to cancel your policy. You can no longer treat women issues differently than men issues. You can no longer go ahead and decide that there is a cap after which you don't pay. I mean, there are so many protections within the Affordable Care Act for the average person. Look, I am not fond of it because I don't believe health insurance belongs in the private sector at all. The profit from healthcare insurance is nothing more than a ripoff at best, but really a fraud, because they charge you a lot simply to pay a bill. They don't innovate. Any innovation they do is to find a better form to keep more of the money that you pay into premiums. Remember that. Health insurance companies don't innovate. Any innovation that they attempt is simply for them to hold on to more of your money. And here we are, after over a decade of successfully having this new healthcare system, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Once more, we have the Republicans saying, if we come to power, we are going to kill it. And then he tries to backtrack. But again, this was a private conversation that they've had with their people. They didn't quite know it was being taped. They didn't quite know it would get out. But it got out. And now we know that, unlike what Donald Trump said on stage, oh, we don't really have plans to kill Obamacare. They intend to get rid of it. So, folks, do you have a pre-existing condition? You're in deep caca. Oh, folks, do you need Medicare expansion? Well, not even Texas didn't even take that. But think about what it's going to do even worse to the system. I tell you, these guys are telling you all the things that they want to do. They're so incompetent that they're not waiting to tell you. Donald Trump talks to Mike Johnson. We got a secret to win this thing, right? It is like a child that cannot control his mind, and then the people that he has around him doing all the wrong things. Folks, let's be clear here. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to overturn the Affordable Care Act. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to ensure that you no longer have the protection from pre-existing conditions on your health care plan. A vote for Donald Trump means that insurance, again, can be rescinded and that they can apply limits to the amount that they pay out. I mean, if you want to relitigate all those things that we have fought for so long, to get a modicum of protection for the average patient, for the average healthcare user, go back and do that all again and throw it back to the private sector without regulations? Folks, we have to start reading. We have to start learning. We have to start listening. What we really need is Medicare for all. But until we are successful in in securing Medicare for all we've got is the Affordable Care Act. And if you give that up, for whatever reason it is, by voting for Donald Trump, it's your life on the line.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.